Hey everybody, welcome to Bestie Book Reviews. I'm here with the bestie Mandy.
And I'm here with my bestie, Jessica, who is still a little lobstery.
Still a little lobstery. Yes. Well, I mean we bulk record, so I'm gonna be lobstery for a little bit. Okay. So what's today's video? What are we doing?
Enemies to lover.
Oh, okay. That's what we're doing. All right. So before we start talking about those enemies to lovers, what do you want to tell everybody?
Well, thanks for being here. We hope you get some great book recs from our video, and make sure to like and subscribe and comment below and let us know what are some of your favorite enemies to lovers. We have done this video a few times, so there should be a playlist for it.
Yeah.
And yeah, we know it's pretty popular, so you can always tell us what ones you enjoy in the comments.
Mm-hmm.
What
Definitely.
ones you're hoping to read, any of that stuff.
Okay. All right. Well, let's get started. So, okay. So the first book I have, hold on, my flag's falling out. The first book I have is, and we're gonna put it. This is the next book. It'll already be announced by the time this comes out, but this is the next book in the Coveted cover box. So we are going to show you guys the Coveted cover as well. It just happened to be in this video. So the first book I have is With This Ring by Natasha Knight. This is a duet, technically a trilogy because we get a brother's book in the third, but this is about Scarlett and Cristiano. So this is Mafia. And Scarlett, it starts out on Scarlett's wedding day. Her brothers are actually forcing her to marry somebody else. She is with the cartel, and her brothers have made this agreement with this other mafia dude, and so she was supposed to marry him, even though she doesn't want to. When her room is stormed, the tower she's being kept in is stormed by Cristiano, who is a rival family member, and he takes care of the brothers and then kidnaps her and her brother. He hates her because his family was slaughtered by her family when he was young, and he has amnesia because of it because he was hit by a bullet. And she's now his captive, and they don't like each other. They just don't like each other, and stuff happens. So we're just gonna go with that. So it's good.
Okay.
Okay.
So my first enemies to lovers is Royal Heart by Nana Malone. This is about Ari and Damon. So Ari's dad was a professional thief, and she really wanted him to train her, and he wanted her nothing to have nothing to do with what they were doing and the jobs they would work on and things like that. But he trained Damon. And so then her dad dies, and she just hates Damon with a passion. And she goes to work for a company that is on the right side of the law, and Damon continues off, in his own direction. Well, there has been a pendant, the Royal Heart, that has been stolen. It's going to be at the Black Rose auction. And this is like a big auction, but you have to have like an invite. They do background checks, they follow you before you're allowed to come to this auction, because you can buy literally anything there. People, anything. Like, it's pretty crazy. And so she is asked to go with Damon to get this, to steal back the Royal Heart. And she's like, nope, not going to do it. I hate him. And her boss is like, well, actually, you're going to do it. And she's not happy. And they have to pretend to be a married couple so that they will be able to get their invite and go.
Okay. All right. So the next book, and I know you're going to say something, and I just don't know that you need to. The next book that I have is by Devney Perry. I do read a lot of Devney Perry. So this is Sunlight by Devney Perry. This is about Sasha and Jax. This is the second book in her Haven River Ranch series. You don't have to read the first book. It can be read as a standalone. But this is a story where, so Jax, our hero, is a playboy. He is just out. He's with anybody and everybody. It does, different woman, different night of the week. Sasha has been brought to the ranch to take over for India, who is the ranch owner. She's heavily pregnant, and so Sasha is going to take over her job of running the ranch. But Jax is her boss because he is an owner of the ranch as well. And so these two she doesn't like him for that. He thinks she's too stuck up. They really just do not like each other. But one night, alcohol gets involved, and he gets her knocked up, and they're going to have to get along. So there you go.
Okay.
Okay.
My next one is Steal My Heart by Laura Pavlov. This is Henley and Easton. Easton's just kind of a grumpy jerk. He works at the law firm and he is pissed that Henley is now working there. She's like one of the upper lawyer's daughters. And he's like, of course she's getting a job here. And of course you want me to mentor her. And so he comes out the gate hard with his enemies enemying. And they have to try and get along and work together. And Easton is not here for that at all, but Henley is going to slowly wear him down. So I'll switch myself back.
Oh, here, I'm doing. Okay. So this next one is a little bit different. So this next one is post-apocalyptic. This is Embers by Claire Kent. I think this is it is number 3 in her Kindle series. Again, you can read it as a standalone. But this is about Rachel and Cal. So Rachel and her boyfriend are together when the apocalypse happens, and it's like an illness that takes everybody out and it affects their lungs. And so she knows that her boyfriend has gotten sick. They're living with his mom at the time. They're fairly young, and he's getting sick. Like his mom has just died from this, and she can hear it in his lungs. And about this time, his dad, who is Cal, shows up and takes her and him with him up into the mountains to this cabin that he has. And that is where our book really gets going. She does not like Cal. Rachel does not like him at all, wants nothing to do with him, but she's there because because of the boyfriend. And so what happens when the boyfriend dies and leaves her behind with his dad? And it's a thing. It's a thing. They just don't like each other.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
My next one is called Undeniably Enemies by Jay Saman. So right there in the title. So we have Jack, whose best friend's little sister is Ren. And they are at a party together. It is a costume party, and they end up having like this. They're together, they're hanging out at this party, but they don't recognize each other. And she was a virgin and she's ready to be done with that. And so she decides to hook up with this masked man. Halfway through the deed, they figure out who each other is. They complete the deed, and he is a little horrified that this is his best friend's little sister, which he does not handle the situation well, which really pisses Ren off. And so they end up being angry with each other and kind of cementing their enemy situation there. Well, then we fast forward several years later. Jack is working as a doctor. He's up for chief at the Boston hospital. Ren is going there to work, and he is now her boss. But they both don't like each other based on what happened all those years ago. But he's now her boss.
Okay. The next book I have also has a masked man in it, and that is Debt by Nina G. Jones. So this is about Mia and Tex. Mia has a friend who used this secret online, it's not a dating service. It is a fulfill your fantasies type service. And Mia has a rape fantasy. And so she gets really drunk one night. Her friend gives her this special card, which is the card. It's the card right there on the cover. But she gives her the card and says, this is like referral only. And so Mia gets really drunk one night and decides to actually put in the information and submit to this agency. And when she does that, you basically choose a couple of different times and places of where this could happen. And you never know when this person's going to show up. So one day this person does show up, breaks into her house in a full mask and situation. The whole rape fantasy happens. And she does try to pull the mask a little bit, and she sees that he has this tattoo on his neck. The next day or a few days later at work, her boss has announced that he is selling the company. The new boss is there. Lo and behold, it is the guy with the same tattoos on his neck. And that is where we meet Tax. He hates her. He hates her for like he did not work for that company. He was in her house for a reason, and he is out for revenge. He blackmails her into a relationship type situation to pay off a debt, and she hates him. Like, it is not a good situation. So
I need to read that.
yeah, there is audio for it too. So okay.
We've been doing a lot of videos recently that are just reminding me of all these books that I need to read. But I also still have all the books that I was planning to read, and I don't know what to do anymore.
I know. There's not enough time. There just is not enough time.
No.
Not enough hours in the day.
Okay, my next Enemies is like a favorite book right now, and that is My Favorite Bad Decision by Elizabeth O'Rourke. So we have Kit and Miller, and Kit's sister dated Miller a decade ago, and it's her older sister, and she has her reasons, but she did not really care for Miller, and she was like very snarky with him. And one day he just like breaks up with Kit and is never to be seen again, but not quite. He is in the same sort of social circles as her father, so she knows of him over the past 10 years, but has really kind of tried to avoid him for the most part. Well, her dad has decided that she needs to go and do a news, like an article on climbing Mount Kilimanjaro.
Good job.
Thank you. And he sends her off to do that. When she gets back, if she's completed this, then she gets to take over the marketing department of the magazines. And so she gets there to the airport, and she is shocked to find Miller there, and even more annoyed to find out that he is going on the same trip as her, and that he is with the same company, and he's actually hiking the same route. And so she is really irritated. He is not exactly pleased, but he's maybe a little more understanding than she is. And so they're going to be hiking this mountain together. So you don't get much more close proximity than that. And maybe, just maybe, she's going to start to peel back some of those layers on why she feels like he's an enemy. But here's the thing. Her sister is in a crappy marriage and feels like Miller is the one that got away. Oh, loved it.
Okay. Well, my last book that I have is Hips, Lips, and Apocalypse by Tyler Page. This is this is obviously different. It's apocalyptic. It tells you in the title. This definitely has like a 50s retro feel to it, because all of these people live down in this bunker. Like, the bombs have been dropped and they're in these bunkers. And the young girls at the age, I think it was like 8 or something, they're brought into this um uh, little girl situation, like this little girl program, and they're watched over by what they call the daddies. It is not sexual, but these guys watch over them, and they train them on how to go out of the bunker and to scavenge and hunt for things that they need inside the bunker. For some reason, it's these girls that are chosen, and so they're in this training program. They actually don't go out until they're 21, but they're being trained to prepare for when they leave the bunker. And then at the same time, you have a group of guys who are being trained. They're called daddies in training, or DIT, and they're being trained to eventually have their own young girl that they watch over and take care of and make sure that they're doing okay. And so Eleanor is our little girl in this situation, and she's 21 or 18. I think she's 18, because the boys graduate when they're 21. So she is she has her daddy, who is Callahan, but something happens to Callahan, and that is when they bring in Riot, who is one of the boys who was just about to graduate and get his own young girl, and they assign him to her because there's nobody else of age that can do this and be her daddy to take care of her. But these two have hated each other since they were little kids. There is a reason why they don't get along. She's not thrilled having him. She actually throws a temper tantrum like a brat. Like, there's a whole brat situation in here, but they do not get along. But they're going to have to figure it out, because they're out in the real world. They're being thrown into these situations. So there you go. What's your last book?
Oh, goodness. Okay, yeah. My last book is Ripple Effect by Jay Bentenson.
It's hard to say.
I know I'm butchering it. Okay, so this is about RJ. RJ has been in a boy band for many years, wildly popular, and they kind of just reached the age where they really couldn't be a boy band anymore. So he tries a solo career. It doesn't go well, and so he's just not doing well. He's kind of moping and feeling sorry for himself. So he decides to move into just a normal apartment complex, grows out his beard, and is basically in hiding there while he mopes. And his next door neighbor is Danny. And Danny is super annoyed that RJ is a really crappy neighbor. So she tries like leaving him some post-it notes. She tries a good neighbor contract, sliding it under his door. All this does is just irritate RJ. So the two of them cannot stand each other. They actually look out in the hall to make sure the other one's not out there when they leave their apartments. And one day they're both in the parking garage and they're kind of having a quarrel, like in their cars, over fighting over a parking spot. And there's an earthquake and part of the parking garage comes down and they're trapped in there. And the two of them have to figure out how to survive the situation. So good. Because they really don't like each other. And now they're in a life and death situation.
Mm-hmm. All right, well, there you go, guys. 10 enemies to lovers for you.
Yes. So again, let us know in the comments your thoughts on the trope, books you like in it, all the stuff, all the bookish stuff. Anything you want to tell us, put it in the comments. And make sure you check back on Mondays, Thursdays, and Saturdays, and sometimes Wednesdays for new videos from us.
Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next video.